that's why I started creating Queer Nerd Collective, was because I want to build spaces that make people want to open to meeting people and learning and growing.
Cards Against Humanity is a joke book for people who are creative. That is what it is. I know, hot take. Don't me, please. HoolsRules. Hi, welcome to HoolsRules. I'm Hools, and today we have a very special guest with us. Hi.
Did I introduce myself?
Yeah.
Hello, I am DeVery Bess. I'm a drag king, performer. I love to talk. Please let me monologue at you. But I truly love board games.
Yes.
It's one of my most favorite things. So much so that I run a thing called Queer Nerd Collective, which we get to do nerdy shit around the city.
Yeah.
Little events and stuff.
I think back to when we met, which was like we were in this group interview and we had to say one special thing about us, and my thing was like, I own 50 board games, and then you're like, I run a board game nerd night, and I was like, let's be best friends, and then I was like, I have to find you after.
It was so funny. I still think that was the best group interview I've ever had. Because I was like, everyone's so great. I actually want to be friends with folks in this group.
I know. Anyway, I just wanted to, I'm bringing more people in. I'm trying to create more of a community space. You clearly do that already. So I mean, tell us more. Tell us about the Queer Nerd Collective. You had a Magic the Gathering night.
Yeah. Our most recent event was the Magic the Gathering that happened at $3 Bill. It was so fun. It was definitely just something that my co-producer and I both were kind of we love Magic. We just want to play and we want to get a group together. And I know my experience around specifically Magic the Gathering and how I found it was really hard for me to enter spaces, and it always felt so insular and so hard to engage. So I was like, why not create a space where people can learn and experience and see. I even printed out decks because I am cheap, but I had a bunch of proxy decks and stuff like that people can try different decks that they wouldn't normally try, learn the game pretty easily, and even color. No one did color, but there was coloring.
Hey, you had things for everyone. So.
Just so that people could explore and do the things and see if they like Magic or not, or just see if they like the gaming process of it. And it was far more I didn't when you're just whatever, we'll see how it goes, and but then it's it actually, people show up and you're like, oh shoot, I thought there was gonna be maybe 10 of us, but then it was 4 times the amount of it. There was 40 people in the space, and I was like, oh shit. And I came in late, so I was running in, just
there's so many people. I'm supposed to be running this thing. Yes.
And I forgot someone's deck at home, and I was like, oh no, it was a wild.
It's okay, but clearly it's wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that's it too. Even just talking about spaces and trying to get into the community and trying to involve other people, and clearly it's something others are looking for. They're looking for that space. So being able to kind of open the door to be hey, we're friendly, we're inclusive, we're here to bring you in, even just offering that and saying it out loud, people are oh, I'm looking for that. Oh, okay, I'll try. And it's so hard to leave your house. So if people see something that they're okay, I know if I don't know Magic, I'm not going to be ridiculed, then I will feel more comfortable choosing to leave my house to go to that, as opposed to being oh, Magic the Gathering, I've always wanted to play, but it's just a Magic the Gathering night, I don't know much about it. So unless you're actually being who you are and posting here are the things that we're going to be doing, it's inclusive, I have these decks, I have this, and allowing people to know what to expect, I think really helps bring people together.
Yeah, and I think so much about just my experience around games and stuff like that. I love games.
Yes, you're at the right place.
I love games. I love video games. I love board games. I love card games. There's a moment of me trying to create a passion project for myself. Create a card game,
nice,
cardboard game.
Okay.
About drag.
Oh my God, do it.
But I never, as a kid, I didn't really get to play a lot of games. Because my mom was a single parent and was working a lot, and I didn't have any siblings, and I didn't have any friends, so I didn't really get to play a lot of games as a young person, besides video games, lots and lots of video games. And I think as I gotten older, when I moved to Calgary for about 10 years, I literally went to it's called Dickens Pub. They used to have this thing called Gamer Sundays, where every Sunday there'd be a group of people playing board games. And it was so nice because I entered the space and like not really. I was there with my partner and we were both like, I don't know, like I don't know anyone here. And then people were like, oh hey, you look new here. Do you want to come play this game? We're playing Avalon, or hey, we're playing Water Deep. And I was just kind of like, oh my god, this is like so cool and like so amazing. And people were most of them were like either there's one person who's like building a board game themselves called Dice Heroes or something like that. And then there's a bunch of other people who were liked teaching board games. So usually they'd be like, oh, do you want to join? Let me teach you. And everyone around the table would be so like kind and thoughtful. And I had such a good experience that when I moved here, I was searching out for board game spaces, being like, oh, like maybe there's like this cool thing here where I can meet people who are really cool and all that stuff. And I just kind of didn't find that, at least not in the same way. Like it always felt very cliquey and not like, oh, join us and all that kind of thing. So that's why I started creating Queer Nerd Collective, was because I want to build spaces that make people want to like open to meeting people and learning and growing. I don't know.
No, but I think that's it. Like even with the place that you went to in Calgary. It's you need the people who are spearheading that, and unfortunately, when that space isn't there, you need to make it. And hopefully that will then inspire others to continue making it. But if that space is empty, someone needs to fill it, and you also need to be that person who is like the person who's going to welcome others in. Like that's kind of also for me when I'm doing board games, like I want people to play games because I love playing games. And so if I have a space and I have a spot, I'm like, I have 3 spots here, let's go. That's the kind of space that I'm like, again, craving for in the city that I don't think exists, or you're trying to make it start to exist. And like, it's clearly something people are looking for. It's just having to actually do the thing and make the thing and then make the event and hope people come and like all of this stuff that comes with producing. So I'm glad to hear that your event went so successfully.
I'm trying. I've heard that you've done events like that before at Buddy's.
Yes. So I did do a one night I did at Buddy's, and I think like 3 or 4 people came out, and it was like specifically for asexuals. So it was also like board games, and then also let's make it smaller for like an asexual community that's also very hard to connect with in the city. It does exist. Obviously, we had people show up, but it was, and I loved it. I loved doing that night, even though there was only like 4 people there. I was like, great, like someone, like I'm teaching someone new, like someone who doesn't play board games, but was like, oh, I heard this is like an asexual meetup. You don't have to know anything about board games. Come, sit, please. Like, let's just hang out and learn a game.
And I think that's something that like, that's what I love about like just events in general, like especially when it's about a craft or about something specific, is like, please make it open for people who don't know anything to come in, or at least have someone there to help in those moments of like, oh, you don't know how to do it? Let me help you. Let me be there for you. And like build those relationships and build those things up. And I think that's so important.
Oh yeah, and especially because with board games too in general, and like with my channel, it's specifically for like neurodivergent folks, and like it's going to attract neurodivergent folks, and everyone's brain works differently. So yeah, there's some people who are like, I'm sorry, you're teaching it and you're saying words that do not make sense to me. And you need to have someone who can like adjust and be okay with that, and then be like, sorry, I've taught it how I taught it, so if you don't know it, I can't help you. It's like, well, that's actually not helpful in any way. That just means you're a bad teacher. Like if you can't adjust to like teaching different styles of learning, then you probably shouldn't be teaching.
And also like, and it's okay. Like it's okay not to be a teacher. Like I think that it's like you want to play with people and you know that you're not someone who can teach. Because I know like honestly, I did the Magic the Gathering and I was like, oh no, I can't teach.
Like it's not me.
Like I like teaching games that are quick, but like Magic takes so much and each deck is so different. And I was like, oh, this is really like to teach 4 people at the same time is a lot. And I was like, okay, I need to find a way to get someone else to do this. So I tagged off with someone else, and then they taught. And so like knowing yourself and knowing those things of like, if I want to have a board game and I'm bringing in a new game and you know that you tend to be someone who struggles with teaching, I would definitely suggest being like, well, who in your group is really good about it, and then you two can sit down and figure it out, and then teach it together in the ways that are like, okay, I know I get frustrated really easily. Could you take the questions, or even just like wait? Something that frustrates me sometimes when I'm giving instructions is that like people ask the questions, and I'm like
I'm getting there.
Yeah, like I want to answer your question, and I will answer this question if you just let me get to the next part, because there's a reason why I'm doing it in this order.
Yeah.
Because if I give you that information now, you will be very confused.
Yes.
And I just need to take, like, once you understand this part, then I can fine-tune those things.
After we've gone through everything, if you still have the same question, I will reiterate why this thing is this way. Yeah. But yeah, it is a skill for sure. And I think that's also why, like, it isn't just an open space that someone can join, because it, like, I'm not just going to offer that for free. Like, I know a shit ton of board games. I'm really good at teaching board games. Like, I'm really good at it. But, like, it is a lot of work. Yeah. Like, and it is a skill to have. And I love doing it. Like, I really do. I enjoy teaching games. But, like, if I bring 8 games and you're like, teach me all of these, I'm like, I have to learn all of these. Like, this is not just, and then also make sure everyone understands the rules in every different way. So it's like, it's hard to have a space like that when also people, like, it's a skill that people are not understanding. So
yeah, and like remembering, because sometimes I was like, one of my favorite games, like one of my exes and we used to get this game and just all of the expansion packs that exist. It was called Last Night on Earth.
Okay.
It's so campy.
Right.
It is just a campy game. It's very much like a zombie.
Yeah, I think I know it. There's tiles that you have and stuff. Yeah,
and there's like different games and stuff like that. It's like, it's very silly. It's very fun. It comes with like a CD that you can listen to just to
I love it.
It's such a silly game, but like the other day I found it at like a thrift shop and I was like, so I bought it.
Yeah.
And when I went to, it was like, oh, maybe we can play this. And I was like, oh, I haven't played this in 5 years. Mm-hmm. How do I play this?
Yeah, and then also removing all the expansions that were in your brain. You're like, wait, there's often times I'm playing different games. I was like, I can't remember if this is this expansion or if it's this thing, or just let me double check. And I think that's also the joy of learning too, and like being okay with not knowing everything. Yeah. And I often get the rules wrong, but that doesn't make it a bad teach. That's just like, okay, all right, it's actually this way. Sorry, I misspoke. Yeah. And like and allowing people to understand that, like, I'm also a human being. It's like learning while we're doing it. Like, it's a lot to learn all of the rules in the head and remember every single thing. It's just not possible.
Yeah. And like, well, I know there might be some folks, but I always think about like, I can be a rules lawyer.
Yeah.
I can be like, except when there's new players playing, I'm usually a lot chill. I want to chill.
Okay.
But then I'll be like, hey, just letting you know, the rules say this. Totally okay right now. But also, like, let's try to be mindful in the future, because the reason why the rules are here is to make it fair for everyone. And so I always try to be like, as nice.
Totally. My partner is very much like that, and he will always call me out. He'll be like, I'm pretty sure it's this. And I'm like, okay, you read the book and I'll keep teaching. And then he'll be like, yeah, it's this. Like, okay, fine. And I completely get that. I also will be like, okay, but this way is better. And maybe that's just because I've been doing board games long, and I don't think I'm better than game designers. Don't get me wrong. It's just there are certain things that I'm like, okay, well, we're learning this. We're actually removing this rule.
That's true.
We don't need it right now. It doesn't affect it. Or if it's like halfway through the game, we're like, oh, this is a rule we've been forgetting entirely. You either continue without the rule, or you start doing the rule now, and there is a happy medium there for sure. But I think it's, I remembered this rule. If it might affect the whole game actually, because I was supposed to discard a card every single round. Well, great, now I have so many more points because I didn't know that. Like that changes the outcome of the game. So let's just keep playing with the wrong rule. But
and like sometimes when we're learning for the first, like when you're teaching and learning, sometimes there is things that are too much. I think I was playing Avalon. And Avalon, there's a couple extra characters. Well, there's characters like Merlin, Morgana, Percival, like these other characters. And usually when I first start, I'm like, we are not playing with that. That is not happening. We just have the blue team and the red team. And then
we understand.
Yeah, we get the flow of it. And now we can add things that break those expectations. And I think there's a lot of games where that could be a thing of like, in this moment, just get the mechanics first.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't know mechanics really well. Because I think
Yeah.
once you play a lot of board games, you're like, oh, this works like Dominion, or this works like
this is a trick taking game. This is
Yeah.
like that is just part of your knowledge.
Yeah.
I often have been like, I actually just had a trick taking game with a friend last month we played, and I was like, I had to start by being like, oh, do you know what a trick taking game is? Or do you know what trick taking is? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, so we start there. Because that, like, if I just say trick taking and everyone knows what a trick taking game is, then I don't have to do that whole extra explanation.
Yeah.
But without saying that, and he just doesn't know and is like, okay, and then is just playing cards, and you're like, no, actually, when you play this, it takes everyone else's card. We don't want to do that. But yeah, it's one of those things, unless you know games and have been involved with it, that the mechanics, especially social deduction, it's like, you can say whatever. Wait, what? You literally can say whatever you want. If you're good, you usually don't want to lie, because that's not helpful. Just letting you know.
But yeah, I agree. Like, there's sometimes when you're playing, you're like, oh, this works like this, or this works like this. Oh, and so like there's always a frame of reference for those things. And I always think about that. And there's so many people who just like don't play board games, don't understand them. But there's a bunch of people who just don't play board games enough to be like, oh, this is like quickly learn something. Because I think I played Wingspan for the first time. I've been wanting to play for a very long time. Just because I've never, like,
it's one of those that people are like, oh, Wingspan.
I played Wormspan, I think
that's
which was fun. And I love the dragon aesthetic.
Yeah.
But when I was playing, I was like, oh, this is actually really easy. Like, everyone's always like, oh, it's so complicated. Like, people who don't play board games are like, oh, it's so complicated. I was like, oh, you just...
do an action.
Yeah, you just take actions.
Yeah.
And you do a thing. And I was like, oh, this is so easy. Or, like, I think I was trying to teach... I did a board game night at a part of Fringe. And...
Oh, yes, I wanted to go and I was not available that day.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. But I did a board game night as a part of Fringe. And people seen Flamecraft. But they looked at it and they're like, oh, this looks so cute. Let's play it. So they grabbed it. And I was like, okay, I can like teach you how to play. And then they start unboxing it. And they're like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not too much. It really isn't too much. All of these pieces, it makes so much, it's like so, like, I wouldn't say it's so simple, but it's very simple. It's only like you put your guy here and then you take stuff. You're just taking these things so that you can spend it on things. That's all it is. It's money. All of these things are money in different ways. And so sometimes board games can look a lot more
overwhelming, for sure.
When it's just like, no, it is a simple concept. It's just... because there's so many pieces, it looks a lot. And
it's because it's something new. And people are so intimidated by that because people are so afraid of not knowing things. And so you're like, okay, well, this is why I'm here. This is why I want to be. This is why I have this channel. Like, I want to be a space that is like, it's okay if you don't know what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
Just be like, sorry, I don't know what this game is. I don't know why am I doing this with the card? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'll explain. And I run very infrequently, but like board game, like I offer where I bring like my Uber Eats backpack full of games to someone's apartment with their friends and like game teach, basically, like do my own solo teaching. And I love those specifically because it's important that it's like a group of people that everyone knows everyone. Because it also makes it a lot easier to learn a game when you're in a space you feel comfortable. But then once we play the game, once the game is going, I have the access to going around individually to people and being like, I know it's not your turn, but do you know what's going on?
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to do? And they're like, oh my God, Wingspan was actually the last one I did. And the one girl that I was beside, she was just like, I have no idea what's happening. I was like, okay, that's totally fine. And there's a lot. So I'm going to just offer 3 different things that you could do on your turn. And then I like went through, like, you could do this and this is what would happen. And being able to have that like personal one-on-one experience with people is a lot, I think, more, people are more open to that than being in front of like a room full of people and then asking a question that like, they don't want to sound stupid for being like, what's a worker placement? Like, that's okay. But yeah, so I think keep having spaces like what you have.
Yeah.
Keep
Trying
stuff
our
like
best.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And like everyone learns differently. Like I know I'm best when I see things happening.
Yeah.
Like as we go forward.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times when I'm like me for learning, I'm like, okay, what's the rundown?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, let's just play, and then I can, like, within the first turn, I can figure out what to do. Generally win. Unless there's, like, a rule that is very specific that I didn't know about. But there are some games, like, I played this game, it was called Darknet.
Okay.
And that was, I think, one of the most more complex games I learned, because it was just, like, there were so many things happening, and they didn't flow into each other. I was like, okay, it's like Catan, because you had to roll and you got things from it, but then you also have to sell those resources in this way, but it also has a tracker that goes down. There was, like, a lot of moving parts
like
of the
stocks market.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it was, like, very similar to that. So there's a lot of mechanics in it, and I was like, okay, I think I did need to sit down and read this one, but there are some that are, like, I don't know, like Dixit.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's just like I always, whenever explaining this, I'm like, it's like Cards Against Humanity, but with
pictures. Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh.
Yeah.
And I hate that. Anyways, I hate Cards Against
Okay,
Humanity.
no, me too.
Okay.
I'm like so in the camp of it's not a game.
Mhm.
And people get so mad. I'm like, no. Cards Against Humanity is a joke book for people who are creative. That is what it is. I know, hot take. Don't me, please. But like, that is what it is. And that's okay. You can have fun reading jokes. Go for it.
Yeah.
It's not a game.
Yeah, that's why I don't like games similar to that. Like, even like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm always like, I will play one round of this.
Yeah.
I if we're gonna play something similar to that, I'd rather play Hitster, where I get to at least listen to
Yes,
music.
or like Snake Oil, where you're like
Yeah.
coming up with things while you're placing them. And I find that a lot more engaging, but same. I'm like, sure, I'll play a round of it with everyone, but then everyone wants to play 5 hours of it. And you're like,
yeah, you're like, please let's do something else. And I think sometimes I get annoyed. Okay, we're gonna go. Sometimes I get, okay, here, not hot take. Sometimes a board game night, if you bring Cards Against Humanity, I will be like, no. I'd rather not. Like, I get it. Yeah, we could do one round, but like, then we're playing something fun. Then we're playing something that has like, just, like, I like things with a little bit of strategy, or just chaos. Chaos is fun too.
Yeah.
But like, just a little bit of like, somebody's gonna win.
But oftentimes when I was working at Snakes and Lattes, there'd be a group of 6, and they'd be there for an hour, and they'd play Cards Against Humanity. I was like, you spent more money just being in this space than you would have spent on the game. Like, just buy the box and go home and do it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You're each paying $10 a person to be here. Like,
that's wild.
What? There's a whole wall of games. Like, there's so much to offer.
Like, I definitely use like those board game cafes as places to try
test things out.
Yeah, new games that I haven't got to play that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, would I want to buy this?
Yeah.
There's also a space that you can rent games.
Yes,
too.
yeah, there's a board game to go thing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on Queen, yeah.
The person, I think that one of the person who works there, or maybe he owns it, I don't
Oh.
know. I honestly, one of my favorite spots to go buy board games. Not because of
Yay.
anything, but because he's so excited about the space. And I find sometimes in other spaces, a lot of other spaces, it's just like, they couldn't be bothered that you exist. He was just so excited about board games and like sharing and all that kind of stuff. And when because I was looking at the time, my ex and I played a lot of board games together, and I was looking for a very specific game for them, like super specific. It was called Morels or Fungi.
Okay.
It's like a you collect mushrooms and then you cook the mushrooms.
Okay.
It's very cute.
Cute.
It's a very cute little. My partner at that time really liked mushrooms.
Right.
So I was like, I really want to get them this specific game, because then they can like they can have their moment. They can have their special interest moment where they talk about like, oh, this is a honey fungus. Yeah, this is a honey fungus and blah blah blah, or this is a morel and why, and like go into the intensity of it. Yeah, and I'm there being like, this is really cute. I love seeing this. But every place I went, I couldn't find it, and I was just like, I'm so annoyed, because I was up on Yonge checking every single place, and none of them had it. And I went to Board Game to go, and they're like, oh my god, we don't have that. But it was like, oh, but I have this other thing that might be the same thing, like might be good, and and like just like so excited about it, and so that made me even more. Anyways, to be like, I love. Go to Board Game to go.
Yeah, do it. We'll get a sponsorship.
Sponsorship. No.
I mean, that's also that's me. Board games, right? Like my favorite thing, my favorite job at Snakes was when I got to be the game master, and I would have people be like, just like kind of nervously looking at the wall, and I could be like, who are you here with? Are you here with friends? This is a date. What are we looking at? And like being able to engage and being like, Yeah, like I love that, and I'm like, I can guarantee I can find a game that someone will love. And for a while, I had a very large library in my head because I was able to access it. But it's like, okay, great. Now, what's the vibe? Like, what are we thinking? Okay, how long are you guys here for? Oh, you're here for an hour. Great, let's get something smaller. Like, let's try some things out. And then I can bring a bunch of things and be like, here is like the log line of this game. What are you guys thinking? And then being able to like delve into the next step of it. Of like, okay, great, let's bring it out. Like, let's look at it. What are we thinking? Like, and being able to gauge people's interest, but also what their skill is in board gaming too. Because like, I'm not gonna bring Scythe to a table who's never seen a board game, but yeah, just being able to gauge the people at the table and just by talking about games and seeing what they're interested in and being able to be like, okay, I see all of you here, this thing, and then like I love the moment when I can teach a game and then you see people being like, oh, and that clicks and they're like, okay, I get it, and then they're like super into it. Like it gave me such joy. So that's why I'm like, I'm trying to get back into it. Like that was like such a beautiful thing that I loved as part of my life that I don't have as much anymore, because like now I'm just hanging out at home dusting my games by myself. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing this thing, and hopefully I can keep teaching games.
Yeah, I love games so much. I think they're so much fun. And there's so many different ways of playing. Like, I don't know. And like, I think there's that moment, I love getting board games for people because I love getting experiences for people. And I also like playing board games.
Yeah, you're like, I can do it with you.
Yeah. And I think there's something so satisfying when you pick the right board game for someone where you're like, oh, I know how you like to play, and I know this is the level, and I know all of these things, and you bring it to them and they're like, wow, I actually really enjoyed that, and you're like, yes.
Oh yes, no, it's beautiful. And because there's so many different kinds of games, like that's why I say I can find a game that someone will enjoy, like no matter who you are. Like there is so many games out there, there's so many types of games that I will find something that you enjoy.
Yeah. And like party games are always a good place to start. It's always a good place to start.
Yeah, well, even Dixit. Dixit is my go-to party game because it also has a little bit of element of game to it, where it's like, I can't just say flower because then everyone's going to pick my card and then I get no points. Yeah. So, anyway.
So, I love Azul. Everyone who I've shown Azul has always been like, who don't like board games. Like, oh my god, this is so fun. It's so pretty. It's so pretty where you get them and then they start playing. I'm like, oh, this is so easy. It feels so meditating, and you're like, wow.
Yes. Come to the dark side.
So if you like this game, why don't we try this game?
Yeah, just step it up. But anything else you want to share? Is there an event that you're planning to come happen, or?
Yeah. So what I have on plan for there's a lot going on.
Yes.
What I have planned for this year, 2026, for Queer Nerd Collective is that I really want to do a D&D night, hopefully in May.
Cool.
So I just need to get a couple dungeon either D&D or Dagger Hearts.
Is that an RPG?
Yeah, it's the one from Critical Role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's D&D but Critical Role's version. So doing a TTRPG night in May. I'm doing a board game night in February. I just don't have a spot yet, but there's a bunch of people who are like, let's do it in February. I'm like, got it.
Great,
let's figure it out. And I think I'm gonna try and for that board game night, I might try to be specific about like, these are the games we're teaching, or these like, you can bring your own game and all that stuff and invite people and teach them on yourself, but like, these are the games that we're gonna teach. Because there's so many games and people can bring in so much, and like, I know games. I don't know a lot of games. I know enough. Like my collection's maybe smaller. I don't know. Maybe smaller than this. But they're all very like, I get a lot of party games because I have people. Everyone I know really wants to play party games. And I'm like, what about a social deduction game? And then we're probably gonna have another MTG night. I think we might do either February or March. Beginning of March, we might do an MTG night that's just play. Not the teaching part, and then in April we might do the learn to play. Okay. Because I think there's a part where I was like, I want to play Magic. So I think we want to try and intersperse those kinds of things so that we can have that. And then outside of that, I do drag. Yeah. And I have a couple shows on the 4th I think it's a
February?
Wednesday
Okay.
at the Bovine Club, which
Great.
is on Queen Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Queen Street.
Portland?
It is, it's Wednesdays. And then I have a show on the 31st, which is the Menagerie something.
Okay.
I'm doing like a Seder number. Very
Ooh,
ethereal.
okay.
Yeah, and my mom's project, I guess.
Yes.
Like, my mom is
Great.
doing a tarot deck of goddesses. I should promote this because that's my job. Anyways, but it's really cool. It's like a bunch of goddesses. I'm also in it as the Seder. But there's 42 goddesses from across the world, mostly Canada, but across the world, that were photographed to create an oracle deck. So she's going to do a Kickstarter to try and raise money to actually print it and make it a reality. She's been working on it for 5 years.
I love that. I assume you're going to share it on your socials.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then Bard Cab, I'm working with a group to create a medieval times for peasants.
Okay.
So creating an event or a performance or a drag performance that is medieval-esque, but cheap.
Yeah.
So we have medieval times, and then there's Middle Ages. I don't know, something silly. Something silly like that. But it's the peasants.
Amazing. I love all of it. You're doing such cool stuff. So keep doing it. And I'll keep following along. I'll just be in your corner.
Try.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, this has been HoolsRules. I'm Hools.
And I'm DeVery Bess.
And remember, have fun.
Whose rules?
Bees? No.
Yeah.